Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel, whichever one it may be. I don't know what to do with this. If you are new here, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, do all those wonderful things. I think last time I checked, I was at 425 subscribers. I'm really trying to hit 500 by the end of the year. So if you could just hit that subscribe and help me out, that would be fantastic. It's just a personal goal more than anything. It's not like I get anything for it, but it's just a cool number to hit. So if you could just help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, today I am doing a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for work in progress. This is my current work in progress. These little coasters that I got off of Temu quite a while ago, actually. And I am just using this pen that I got out of my Add More Zest Advent calendar. It has these ends on it. So when you're not using it, you can have it be nice and big and long like this. I don't know why I use it like this in the small form, because I found that I use it and then I can just turn it around and use this to just adjust things. So it's been really nice. Really handy. Let's see, which one was I working on? I don't know. Let's work on this one, because I have B out. Where is my diamonds? Okay, so I'm also using this tray, which came from... Oh gosh. You know, when I think of the name, I will say the name. Nix's Notions. That's it. Nix's Notions. I have this other tray over here, but this is just holding what's left when I finish, because I'm not keeping these. I'm just going to get rid of them. So I'm keeping it over there, so then when I finish a color, I can move this forward just a little bit here. Moving everything forward. Okay, and then I hit the power button, or not the power button, the on-off button. Anyway, it's been fun. Let me just say, put that aside for a moment. So, let's see, where are we in this wonderful... I know that I was not working on these when I last did a video. It's been a hot minute since I last did a video. Basically took a week off. We moved. I officially now live in South Carolina. I am no longer in Florida. And I have to say, I don't miss my house. I thought I would. I thought, oh, you know what? I'm moving in. It's going to be sad. I'm really going to miss my job. I'm going to miss my house. I don't miss either one. I haven't missed either one at all. And it's been kind of weird because, I'm currently not working. I didn't find another job when I moved. So I'm just chilling for the moment. We also decided that I would look after the holidays, get through the holidays, get through the new year, and then start job hunting. And there's also some stuff that needs to be done in the house, as well as, the normal stuff of moving. And, we moved our whole life up here. So there's a lot of unpacking to do, a lot of work to do. And it's just a daily thing. My husband just told me that I could do his job for a couple of days. I don't know how that would work out, but it's only part-time, so I guess it wouldn't be too bad. So I could do that till the end of the year. I don't know if I will. There's just a lot that needs to be done. And taking some time off to do it probably isn't a bad idea. So the house we moved into is a bit of a fixer-upper. Now, when we moved into our old house, it was a bit of a fixer-upper. And we spent a lot of time and money fixing that place up and getting it nice and, you know, putting it at the value that it's set at right now. And it's worth it. You see other houses in its price point and they just don't look that nice. Like, we took the time, we put the effort in, and we made it nicer. The only thing we didn't fix was the floors. And, you know, maybe that's one of the first things we should have done. Because honestly, it was really the only problems we were having were the floors in the beginning. We didn't have any issues with the windows, except that the house had shifted because of the floors. So why do the windows if you're not doing the floors? But whatever. We did the windows, and we did the roof, and we did some other things, and we added some solar. It still hasn't sold. Our house in Florida, it's still sitting there unsold. We haven't even had offers on it, which I guess I get. Like, it's a hard time of year to sell a house, but still, like, our house, the only reason I'm being told that our house isn't selling is because of the solar. And then I talk to other people and they're saying, no, your house should be selling. Like, in the price point that it's in and how it looks and how much work has gone into it, it should be selling. So maybe it's our realtor. I don't know. Struggles. It struggles is what it is. But this one has a lot of B on it. So we'll do this one next. I'm just doing one color at a time. So I'm just hopping from, oh, maybe I should zoom in. I'm sorry. Here, let's look more closely at this. All right. So, and now I have to remember to keep it still. Yeah, so I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is. I really don't feel like the realtor is doing a lot to try to sell our house. Like, I just don't feel like he's putting that effort in to try to sell it. You know, like, our realtor, when we were purchasing a house, she was constantly, you know, sending us text messages, contacting us, talking with us, discussing things. Like, the conversations were happening much more often, and it was, you know, understandable. Now, as far as selling the house, like, we would go weeks without hearing anything from our realtor. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you know, like, I'd actually message him, and then we'd hear stuff for like a couple of times, and then it would go back to like a dry spell again. Like, so I just don't feel like he's doing everything he could be doing to try to sell the house, which is weird because our house isn't priced high when everything else is priced $20,000 more in the same price point. It's not high. It's on the low side now. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't be selling, in my opinion. I'm not a realtor. I don't know anything about it. But in my opinion, there's no reason why this house shouldn't be selling. It is a bit awkward, though. I will say that. Like, the layout is awkward. When we purchased it, we did kind of feel like we didn't have much other options as far as like what we were purchasing. Whereas when we purchased this one, you know, like, we took our time, we looked at houses, we went through things, we really thought about it, and we actually put in offers on 3 other houses before this one. But it's weird because this is one that we looked at in the beginning too, so it just turned out to be the one that I was like, yep, that's my house right there, that one. And then it wasn't it's not perfect, but like, whatever is perfect. It will be our dream home someday. But anyway, I don't know, I just feel like that is not happening. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, like I said, like, I felt like we were forced into that house in a way because the situation that we were in and needing to get out and into a new environment. Yeah. So anyway, you know how it goes. life goes. It continues on. And we continue to struggle. Struggle bus it. So the new house, though, it is a mobile home, which I really kind of wanted a nice brick house or something along those lines. But it was relatively cheap, like really kind of inexpensive. And it comes with land. 3 acres of our own land. It is so nice. I look out my window and there is stars. Now, I didn't mind living in a rural setting. I didn't mind living in a city setting, I guess. Growing up, we always lived with our neighbors being basically a mile away from us. And it's kind of what I got used to, not having people too close. Like, your neighbors are close enough, but they're not close enough. Like, I haven't gone to meet the new neighbors here yet. I don't know if I will, because do you even do that anymore? Do people do that anymore? Like, do you bake a pie or something and go visit the new neighbors and introduce yourself? Like, I feel like that just doesn't happen anymore. But the house we just left was house upon house upon house. Like, there was a house next to a house next to a house. Yes, we had about half an acre of property, which was pretty decent, but it was still, you know, right next to one house, right next to the next house. You know, like, if you scream inside your house, your neighbors are going to hear it, kind of thing. Whereas right now, maybe I shouldn't say that, but, you know, I'm not saying that people wouldn't hear me, because there's people close enough that they probably would, because I definitely hear dogs barking and stuff like that, so they probably would. We're not so far away from people that they wouldn't hear anything. It's just not, I'm not looking into my neighbor's windows anymore. My neighbors are far enough away and there's trees between us that I don't see them. But they're there. There are people there. It's just nice. I don't know. It's just nice. And like I said, it was relatively cheap. So, you know, with the expense cost of it, we're figuring that we're just going to get a builder's loan, or a loan that will allow us to build, either expanding on this one and turning it into a real home. You know, doing some more. My cat just went under the pillow. He's being silly. It must be cold. I don't know. The heat hasn't turned on, though, so it can't be that cold. Which, we were told there was no heat. So we were all ready and expecting to have to use heaters and blankets and stuff, because we were told there was no heat. And surprise, surprise, there's heat. Which is really nice, considering. But yeah, there's some issues. There is some issues here. The heat works. The water heater works. My dad looked at it because the inspector came through and he's like, you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to do that. Because we were told to have an inspection done. And we did have the inspection done. And most of the stuff that the inspector found hasn't been major enough to really worry about. But it's there. And a lot of the stuff, as you know, like, we're living in the house and we're discovering new things. Someone decided to be a DIYer and had no clue what they were doing, and apparently didn't even try to find out what they were doing so that they could do it right. So a lot of this stuff is upside down and backwards. like light switches, for instance. One of our light switches, you have to turn it off to turn it on. It's really weird. And actually, that same light switch, they had two lights. They had two lights. They had a bathroom light and a bedroom light hooked up to the same switch. And then when you press the switch, only the bathroom turned on. So my dad, who's quite the handyman, actually went through and fixed that. But now we're discovering some plumbing issues of the same manner, where someone just fixed, either they fixed a section and just really had no idea what they were doing. And like, I'm not a plumber, but I feel like even I have more plumbing knowledge than this person. And most of the stuff I've seen is stuff that I could fix, but we're still going to have a plumber come out and fix everything. We're going to have an electrician come out and just check everything and just make sure it's all running properly and not going to be a fire hazard or something. And the plumbing, so that it's not spraying on our floors or causing wet spots in the house. Because I've already seen a few. We have, you know, buckets in places to collect water. Because it's just ever so slightly leaking when you turn on a faucet or something. Just enough to be annoying. And it's going to be a test for me to see how much knowledge I have of being a handyman. But I know that I will also check YouTube to make sure that I'm doing it right. Like fixing the electrical outlet. I already fixed an electrical outlet in the home. Because my parents had to leave. So my dad, who is quite the handyman, they left. And he told me some things that I needed to work on first. So we've done that. And I fixed the light switch. And I watched a YouTube video of an actual electrician teaching you how to do it properly so that it's in code. And it was interesting because the way that the light switch was done originally is not how the electrician was showing how to do the switch. So I did it the way the electrician showed, and it's working perfectly. In fact, it's this light right now that is on. We actually also replaced the fan and light unit in this room. This is our master bedroom. And the entire unit was bad. Maybe water had gotten in it at some point. I think they redid the roof because it is all sealed over. So I'm guessing they redid the roof at some point. So we put a new fan unit in. But I will definitely have them check the roof. We have to have a contractor out anyway. We want him to check the foundation to make sure things are good. I don't think there's a foundation, but you know, we're gonna find out. All right, so that is B. Let's see what else I have in here. I tell you what, it's a fun game we play, right? But all in all, I'm loving the new house. Repair issues or not. I mean, I lived in the old house with bad floors we lived there from 2019 all the way up until when we just left in 2023. So it's quite a while. This is not working the way I was hoping it would work. I don't have any scissors. The problem with not being fully unpacked yet is, one, I haven't set up my diamond art area. So I currently do not have a real place to do my diamond painting. This is actually a tray table set up. Let's see, right? Yeah, see. Set up at the end of our bed in the master bedroom with a cheap chair that's actually hurting my back, so I don't diamond paint for very long these days. And if you're wondering, why not our dining table? Why are you not using your dining table? Because apparently, when my dad was putting it together, he lost one of the nuts to it. And we've been hoping, when we finish cleaning out the living room, that we would find the nut, because it's supposedly in the living room somewhere. Well, I finished cleaning out the living room yesterday, and I have not found a nut, so I don't know where it is, which means I'm gonna have to go buy a nut from Home Depot, but Home Depot is just far enough away that it's kind of a day trip to go there. It's one of those, if you're gonna go there, don't just go there for one thing, go there for multiple things. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm dry mouth or something. I've not been drinking my regular amounts of water. Still getting used to, there's no C in this one either. How about in you? I don't see C in that one. Let's check this one. Honestly, I'm only seeing it in one so far. Oh, here we go. It's in this one. That is, I did see C, right? I did, okay. Losing my mind. Yeah. So that's why the table is not being used, because the table is in pieces. Otherwise, I would probably be using the dining table to do my diamond painting. I do feel kind of lost without doing it. But here I am doing the best I can on this, and I do kind of just end up with a little bit of pain in my neck and back because this is just not an ideal setup. It's not even a setup that I had before, so yeah. And my space, because there is going to be a space that will be mine for diamond painting, video gaming, all that, is currently the space where we have thrown all of the boxes and everything that still need to be unpacked or have been unpacked and just need to find a place elsewhere. So yeah, it's not happening yet either. It's getting close to where I probably could start putting things more to the sides of the room and having the center space, and maybe being able to set up a diamond painting setup in there. I don't know what I'm going to do. We need to buy another desk, so I could potentially get a corner desk and have a diamond painting setup in there, because the rooms here are huge. Like, they're so big, and maybe this is like a normal size room, but when you've lived in a space that you literally can fit just your bed and your dresser and we could only have one dresser before. Like, there was no him and hers dressers. There was one place to store our clothes, and one, what is it, like 2x3 closet. So 2 foot by 3 foot closet to store our hanging clothes is what we had for our space. So you can probably picture that and imagine that, how tiny these stickers, or not stickers, but the, I don't know if it's because they sat or something, but they're really hard to get off. And I've just been rotating them around so that they're not, I don't know. But yes, so then when we first came into these rooms, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much space. Like, our bed looks small, and we have a queen size bed. So I don't know if it's just that this space is so big or what, but like, oh my gosh. And now we have his and hers dressers. He has one for his clothes. I have my old one for my clothes. My grandmother, actually, when she passed away, I ended up with hers. And it's just, you know, like, it's one of those things that I'm never gonna get rid of. And everybody is always like, this thing is so heavy and so annoying. And I'm like, I'm sorry it's that way, but like, it's never, ever leaving me. Like, we're always gonna have to deal with the fact that this thing weighs 1,000,000 tons. It's so heavy. It is literally the heaviest thing. It's solid wood, so, and it's big. It's at least 5 feet long, so you can imagine. But there's just something special about it, and I've had it since, like I said, since she passed away. And I think it's one of the few things that I still have left, because she gave me all her Breyer horses. I was a huge horse person, and she was too. And that's why we were like best buddies. We got along well. And I hung out with her a lot growing up. So she passed down all her Breyer horses to me. And over the years, my mom got rid of them on me. So, yeah, some of them were broken. Like, I will say that. Some of them were broken. Others, she just brought to, like, donations or yard sales. And I love my mom, don't get me wrong, but she definitely has her weak points and her strong points. Let's do a little bit more here. I don't remember how much was in the first section, so I'll just continue on to that halfway point. I'm sorry, the 30-minute mark of this. I'm using a wire cutter to cut these open. You know what, though? It's working. It's working. Because it's what I have handy. I don't have scissors handy. I honestly feel so dysfunctional right now because most of my diamond art stuff is just, it's in boxes and stuff still. I was going through a box and this kit was in that box, so I said, you know what, I'll work on that. Because at least it's some diamond art and I get to do some diamond painting. And it's there. Other than that, the only diamond painting I've been doing is the advent calendar and the little charms or little figurines, not figurines, or little ornaments that come in the, this is purple, this is all pink and red, I think. The advent calendar. This one has a rose that's starting to appear. Pretty. So that's really it, is what I've been doing, and I just feel so out of sorts in a way. I mean, I did anyway, because up until we moved last Wednesday, and I worked my last 2 weeks right up to that point, and I don't think I should have. Like, I think I should have given my 2 weeks sooner. But we didn't know because, like, we literally jumped on the house as quick as possible and closed on the house as quick as possible. So it was really fast process. Like, it how happened within 2 weeks. It's crazy. Like, we found the house. We liked the house. We made an offer on the house. They accepted the offer. And everything happened really fast. Like, the lawyer did us good in getting this house really fast. So it all happened within 2 weeks, though, because my parents wanted to be home for Christmas, and they had been with us since October, helping us with this move. I think September even. I think they came down in September, and they're retired, so it's not like, you know, like they have anything to worry about. They just had appointments, doctor's appointments and stuff like that they missed while being with us, but they came down in September and they stayed with us all the way up until Saturday they left. Yeah, Saturday they left us. They went to go visit my mother's sister and my brother, and then they headed home on Monday. So, like, they spent barely any time with them, and they were supposed to spend a month. So they're coming back. They are coming back. But they wanted to go home and do Christmas at home because they were supposed to do Thanksgiving with my other brother that's up north. So they're going to do Christmas with him, and then they're going to come back sometime in April or May, sometime in spring. And they're going to try to bring my other brother with them so that he can help with any other things that need done on the house, because he's a real handyman and he really knows what he's doing as far as stuff like that. So that'll be nice. But in the meantime, it all happened really fast. Like I said, it was Wednesday. I came home from work on Wednesday, and I had all these thoughts of things that I was going to do before we left. Or you know how you like plan things out, like, okay, I'm going to go home, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then we'll be on the road. Well, my last truck was late. I had a truck at the Publix, and it was 2.5 hours late. So by the time it came, it was putting us back 2.5 hours from the point we thought we were going to be at. So we worked that truck really quick, and then I gave all my stuff to my boss. He actually met me at the Publix. I gave him all my stuff. And then I got home and found out that one of my cats had gotten out. Now, I had thought this was a plan that I had talked about with my mother, that the cats would all get locked up in one room so that we wouldn't have to worry about them. They'd be locked in one room, out of the way. Yeah, so anyway, one of the cats got out, and it just happens to be one of the ones that wanders. She doesn't just hang around at the house. She actually wanders away. Is that really it for D? I could be missing it. But anyway, so she got out. I got back, and it was probably only 20 minutes later that she actually showed back up, and we got her in the house, and then we got ready to go. Well, in the process, some things were going on, and phone calls needed to be made, and there were things happening, and no one real thought was ever happening with anybody. I'm just double checking that there's no D in any of these. You can let me know if you see any. I'm sure people will. They're really good at that. Like, oh, you missed one. Yeah, thanks. Doesn't help me now, but, you know. Would have been useful. Yeah, so no one real thought was happening. We got the cats loaded up in my car, and I ended up with my husband with me, which I don't mind. That was fine. But that wasn't the original plan. It was supposed to just be me and the cats and the car. So my husband was with me, and then it was packing up the other car and getting it ready to go that my parents were in, because my brother had already left with the truck. He actually left, I don't even remember when. I think it was the day before he left with the truck, but I still had to work my last day of work. So this probably isn't good for the wire cutters, but it's probably not hurting them either. Honestly, it's probably not hurting them. And how much wire work am I actually going to do? My husband's not going to do any. I don't trust him with it. Seeing notifications, probably, I don't know what it is, but. So anyway, my brother leaving with the truck was unexpected. Like, we were not expecting him to leave with the truck so soon. He was supposed to be staying longer. And then, like, the packing was supposed to happen for longer, but instead he just, like, they threw everything in. And so a lot of the stuff at the end that I had no say over it with the packing kind of all just got thrown together. So actually, like, some of my stuff, like my nicer furniture, has like scratches and stuff on it now because it kind of just got thrown in the truck at the end. Because I wasn't there. I had no say in what was going on. I couldn't say, hey, throw a blanket over that so that it doesn't get scratched up. Or something like that. And we packed a lot of the blankets and stuff originally, which was dumb. But we weren't planning on moving in December. We were planning on moving in October. So there was a big change in temperature there. But anyway, he left with all the stuff, and everything kind of just got thrown in. And that's why a lot of my last diamond painting stuff, like I have my diamond painting, but I don't have the drills to it currently. So I have Breeze Off the Ocean, but I don't have the drills. I have a set of drills, but it's not the ones that go with Breeze Off the Ocean. Yeah, I don't know where they are. And then some things got left behind that it's minor. Like one of my little ornaments got left behind. Oh well, it's just 1 out of 24. Don't really know if I'd miss it anyway. And we left behind all of the ice stuff because my dad and I were both packing the cooler, and we both walked away in packing the cooler, and then we went back and said, well, we got to grab the cooler, and we just closed the lid on the cooler and left, and we didn't grab any of the ice blocks or anything to go in the cooler with the stuff. Luckily, the cooler never got opened once in the trip, so everything was fine because there was frozen stuff in there with the refrigerator stuff. But we left all of the ice and ice blocks behind for the cooler. It's one of those things. And then it was 2 days journey. We left on Wednesday night, and we drove until we were too tired to drive anymore, which was around 10 o'clock. My parents booked us a room for the night, or, you know, like they rented a room for the night for us and for them. And we split the cats up 3 and 3. And halfway through the night, or like a couple hours later, my mom texts me and says, come get your cat. She won't shut up. So I had to go over and get my cat. Well, I went over and got the cat, and the other cat decided that, well, since she didn't shut up and she got taken away, maybe if I don't shut up, I'll get taken away. So my mother didn't get any sleep, whereas I slept fine. All of my cats curled up with me in the bed, and we slept fine. But we ended up with 4 and 2 in the rooms instead of 3 and 3. And maybe it was my bad for not picking the 3 properly. You know, like I did the 3 girls together. I didn't think about the mama's kitty. Like I have 2 cats that like I cannot separate from me. And then I had to keep one cat separate from another cat because they just don't like each other. Yeah, but anyway, we survived. We got up in the morning, loaded the cats in the car, and discovered that the cats can just free roam the car, even though they were supposed to be blocked off into the back seat, or the back half of the car, because I have a hatchback. So everything from behind the driver's and passenger seat back was blocked off for the cats to free roam and have like cat haven. They had a litter box back there. They had some food back there. They had some water back there. Like we tried to make it nice and cozy for them. And, you know, cats don't like to travel. And they didn't, some of them were really good. I can't say they were all bad. Some of them were really good. And others, it took them a while to settle down. But once everybody settled down, they were really good. And I had a couple that were right from the start, just laid down and slept. And that's what they did for the entire ride. And that's what they always have done. Because they've traveled before and they're used to it. Because I used to take my cats with me everywhere. I was that crazy cat lady that would travel with my cats. And I took them with me everywhere. But at that time, I only had 2, not 6. I don't know if I would travel with 6 cats now. E. Any more E? I'm going to guess probably not, because there's not a lot of this color left. Excuse me, I just hiccuped. This one looks really pretty, though. But yeah, so that was our expedition here. And then when we got here, it was just unpack everything, get everything off the truck, because now we have to get the truck back. And it was just pure and utter chaos, like you can possibly imagine, especially with the fact that a lot of the last minute stuff didn't actually get packed. It just got thrown in the truck. And yeah, so my husband and I actually are still going through everything. He has to work, and he actually got a new job, so now he has to work his new job. And I am the one spending the time in the house doing all of the stuff for the house. And I have some floor repair work to do in the master bedroom, because that needs to happen ASAP so we don't go through the floor. There's just one spot on the floor. Like, for the most part, everything's been fine. There's no real issues here as far as the floors go. But there's one spot in the master bedroom where the floor is squishy. And I just know that if we don't fix it, we're going to go through it. So I got to go open it up, see what's going on under there, and fix it. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be tomorrow's challenge. And it's going to be hard now because my husband is working nights. So I now have to do things like that at night when I'm tired. Yeah. But that's why I'm not looking to get a job right away either, so that I can do stuff like that, make those repairs on the house that need to be made. Like that. It does seem like they tried to go through and do not a remodel per se, but definitely a fix up and clean up of problems. It's not perfect. But anyway, I think that is the last of E. I didn't see any more anywhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here at, 40 something minutes instead of the normal half hour I'm trying to stick to. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please feel free to join me for more. I should hopefully be back on my regular schedule now. Especially now that I'm not working, I have time to do this. So, yeah, we'll see you on Friday with the next video. Thank you for watching.